Paharia, who's fund manager at Religare, looks at the Religare mid-cap fund, manages that fund, joins in on Meet Your Fund Manager to discuss the outlook for the markets and the approach he's taking to managing a fund like Religare mid-cap. Vinay, good to have you on the show. First up, what's the call that you're taking on the market, given that your exposure is to the largely high beta segment of the market within mid-caps?
Right now, see, we are in a situation wherein the economy is slowing down. The markets are definitely facing headwinds. Corporate profits are under pressure. And the near term looks a little weak. However, what drives markets is also valuations. So valuations are at are almost at 10 to 12% discount to their long-term averages. And that is something which is very important for long-term investors. So to sum up, right now, the near-term business performance is expected to remain weak. However, the valuations are in a reasonable zone. So the market is broadly attractive from a long-term investor's point of view.
What's your outlook on mid-caps then at this point, given the risk-reward equation?
In fact, mid-caps have significantly underperformed their large-cap peers this year. In fact, the mid-caps have underperformed almost 15% or so compared to their large-cap peers. So even there, the pressure is far more significant and evident compared to, once again, their large-cap peers. So mid-caps also have similar outlook. We think that there are significant headwinds in their business, and the valuations there as well remain attractive. So that's a place where the investor should continue to remain invested from a long-term point of view.
What sectors are you bullish and bearish on at this point?
In the fund, we have a strategy of investing on a bottom-up basis. So we invest on based on individual stocks' strength and weaknesses, and hence the sector selection is actually an outcome of stock selection. So depending on a stock's individual business profile, its business model strengths, its growth profile, and finally at the price at which it is available, we tend to select that stock in the portfolio, and hence the sector selection is a result of that. However, as of now, in the fund, we are overweight in consumer discretionary and in information technology sectors, and we are underweight in healthcare and telecom services sectors.
All right, Vinay, a quick question really on the banking space, which is in focus today, up about 1% given the cut in MSF that was announced by RBI yesterday. What's the view on banks, particularly mid-cap banks, and how are you managing your exposure there between PSUs and private mid-cap banks?
From a bottom-up basis, in the fund we own a large number of private banks, and that's to do with the fact that many of them are very well managed and have been able to ride out the current stormy environment much better than their PSU counterparts. Having said that, we are actively looking at banks even in the PSU space. We own some of them, largely because of the fact that they are available at an attractive valuations.
Pockets like mid-cap IT and mid-cap pharma, how do you view them?
Within these sectors, we do own some of the stocks, especially in mid-cap IT. And as I said, in the fund, we are overweight information technology. And since the fund we are talking about is mid-cap, we own mid-cap IT. So that's a space we are fairly bullish on, and we do own some of the mid-cap IT names, especially because of the fact that their business models are strong, they have a reasonably good growth expectations going forward, and they are available at a reasonable discount to their large cap peers. And on the other sector which you said is healthcare, right? So in the healthcare sector, we are currently underweight in the funds, largely because of the fact that while the business models of some of the companies in the sector are good, they are having sustainable growth profile, but the valuations at which most of the stocks available in this sector are out of our comfort zone. So while we own some of the stocks in the sector, we have bottom-up stock picks in the pharmaceutical space, but broadly from a sector point of view, we are underweight healthcare sector.
We leave it at that. Thanks so much for taking time out and joining us and giving us your views. Okay, Sun Pharma is building